You're shopping for a new church and you want the right fit. You say, I'm not looking for the right fit. Murray Campbell says, oh yes you are. If you've ever uttered any of the following sentiments: there aren't enough young families at your church. There's too many kids in this place. The youth group, it's too small. Where are all the old folks? Or this church is too large. This church is too small. The music's too new. The music's too traditional. Careful, these are all signs that you're looking for something I'm not sure you should be seeking.
Allow the Bible to point us to what the Bible values, what God values, and then say, is our church matching that?
Make no mistake about it. We must practice excellent discernment when it comes to finding a church home for our families. We can make some decisions based on some of the differences in different churches, what they offer, what they don't offer, their benefits, their lack thereof. It's okay to practice some discernment, but this is a warning that must be heeded, because we are all tempted to look for the perfect fit in a church. That the church that we like the best, it works for our family dynamic. It provides the most services. It offers the style of music that I like. Again, it does not mean those things cannot be considered. It's just how much weight you are putting into them, knowing you're never going to find the perfect fit. Why? Because church, not only can it not be perfect, it is not the way that Jesus is actually building the universal church. To the Murray Campbell article, remember that at the time you were separate from Christ, excluded from citizenship in Israel, foreigners to the covenants of the promise, without hope, without God in the world. But now, in Christ Jesus, you who once were far away have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two groups one and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one new humanity out of two groups, thus making peace, and in one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostility.
It's all been abolished. It's all been knocked down, so that Christ might create in himself one new man. Not that the Gentiles are made into some old version of an Israelite. It altogether is new. The whole thing is a new man. It's a new humanity. It's entirely different.
Jesus bringing together every tribe, every tongue, every language, so that he can reveal how powerful, how amazing his grace is by saving a group of people that normally are at each other's throats. This is also a means of growth. Do we see what Jesus is doing inside of a local church of misfit people? He is doing something powerful. It reveals his strength, and it's downright good for us. New Testament churches consisted of an array of people from different cultures and classes, rich and poor, men and women, Jew and Gentile, all members together, called to serve one another in love. This made the church attractive to surrounding people. This was a place where status didn't divide, and where otherwise dissimilar people found the deepest and most stable bond.
People who know Jesus and love Jesus and want to live for what matters most risk being ill thought of.
Peter talked about this mystery of Jews and Gentiles coming together. Everybody knew they didn't get along. Why are they getting along there? What's happening in that building? What's bringing those people together? Furthermore, what are those people doing with those folks? How is it that poor people are hanging out with rich people? How is it that rich people are actually loving poor people? What's going on in there? In other words, the church of the non-perfect fit variety is evangelistic, from Murray Campbell. When we allow the Bible's vision of church to inform and transform our expectations, the gains are immeasurable. We begin building a church on grace. We prove to the world Christ is true. He's enough for lasting unity. We demonstrate the breadth and beauty of gospel reconciliation, and we undermine the rampant individualism that diminishes the beauty of the church, denies the power of the gospel, and hamstrings gospel-centered grace and growth. Are you a Marlboro Christian? That's right, you ride the range all by yourself, or you just find other like-minded cowboys and you posse together, you ride together, and nobody's welcome inside of your little clique. And that is exactly what we are doing when we look for the church of the perfect fit.
Everything has a star rating. I don't even know how to buy socks anymore without going on Amazon and seeing how many stars they have. And of course, I'm not going to buy 4-star socks when I could buy 4.5-star socks, right? So we're very used to having everything measured, everything given some sort of clear indication. Here's the quality as judged by an expert, or even better, as judged by our peers. Church doesn't work that way. The health, the strength of a local church, it just can't be measured in those easy ways.
When you and I look for a church that is perhaps very similar in age, skin color, gender, socioeconomic status, we're just looking to be surrounded by self, and that is not what Jesus is building. When you are brought near to Christ, you are also brought near to other people, and that is what we are doing on Sunday morning when we assemble. We are showing the world the power of the gospel in bringing us not only near to Christ, but near to one another. And when they see our nearness to one another, they can only conclude, oh, it's because they're all near to Christ. Do you realize what your presence says to the world? What your presence says about the gospel? What your presence says about Jesus Christ? And what your presence says to one another? Perhaps you've experienced this. You are going through a rough patch, and there you stand, perhaps distracted. Look around you. Even at the mumblers who barely sing, there they are. Why? Because they've been brought near, and you're a part of that family. It is an encouragement. And while you are doing it for some, they should be doing it for you. And we are encouraging one another because we've all been brought near. Please remember, the next time you wake up on Sunday morning going, I just like a kind of a Maroon 5 Sunday morning. I want to be like the Commodores, just easy. Remember the privilege that you have of being a member of a local church, because you were once far away and you have been brought near to Christ and to one another. Hey, I'm Todd. I'm going to be your Uber driver. What's your destination?
2054 Kemple Lane.
No. Your eternal destination. The liberals, they brought in Pelagianism. It's the old Sabellian heresy, denying the Trinitarian Godhead. 3 persons, 1 God, not to the Sabellians. No. They would say that it's actually just 1 God. Please, somebody!